Radio. Here we are, and here it is. Welcome to Sunday Sessions, your pregame regular season, postseason, Super Bowl Buffalo Bills pregame show. I'm your host, Swank, from the K-Gun Report and 24/7 Buff Fandemonium. Right next to me is my brother from another mother, Mr. Scooter Magooter. Scoot, what's up?
What's up, Swank? What's up, RT? Let's go, Buffalo. Hey, this is a get-right game. This is a trap game. You called everything you can. This game has so much implication already in the first 6 weeks, but a lot fallen in our favor in the last week. I'm sure we'll talk about that quick with the Saleh firing and a new offensive coordinator, but happy to be here. We're an hour and a half away from game time. Let's go. Cheers.
Woo. A mouthful for Mr. Scott Reed. I love it. Right down south right here, my boy, the sexiest voice. I couldn't even get through it. The sultry voice of Mr. Ryan Thomas from the Thomas Takes Sports podcast. What's up, RT? How you doing, buddy?
Another Bills game, another Monday, Sunday, or Thursday sessions.
Yeah.
Let's do it. I mean, we're keeping the people informed, whether it's a Monday night game, a Thursday night game, a Sunday night game, you name it. Let's go, Bills. Let's get it right. We're going to break it all down for you tonight, people.
That's it. We got 315 of you weighing in with us right now, and we really appreciate it. If it's your first time being here, we like to hit the inactives as they just have come out right before we went live on the air. We'll give you our hot takes and some score predictions. We like to take your comments and questions and just hash it right out. Don't forget, we are part of the Buff Fan Base Network, and as such, we are sponsored by 26 Shirts. Go to 26shirts.com. Give them all your money. You'll be helping out a family in Western New York. You'll look fly with that drip that RT and I were talking about right before the show started, and it's a win-win-win-win-win-win-win-win-win-win. So go check that out.
Win-win.
Guys, inactives are out. There's a big name on this list. I'm not gonna lie. There was a little bit of dangling going on here. I bought into it. I had to change my fantasy lineup real quick, but I'll hit these names real fast, and then we can discuss. Biggest name on the list, running back James Cook, is inactive tonight. There was a chance he was practicing. They have called up Frank Gore Jr., so that's kind of exciting, fun. Maybe we'll see him definitely on special teams, but maybe out there taking some couple few tree handoffs. Safety Mike Edwards is on this list. Mm-hmm. Buffalo Joe is on this list. Adufan Ulufashio, he's on this list. Will Clapp, a usual suspect, and we knew it, but Eddie Oliver is on this list. We're hoping that he can get back here pretty soon. RT, I'm going to start with you, man. What do you think? What do you think about this list right here?
With the bad, actually, in this case, comes the good. At this point in the season, every team is banged up in their own way. It just so happens that Buffalo is going to be without arguably their second best player this season on offense outside of Josh Allen and James Cook. It's unfortunate. It stinks. It sucks. It's only week 6 and we're without a huge player, but one guy's out, one guy's in. That you didn't mention on that list is Khalil Shakir. He will be suiting up tonight, who was sorely missed last week, in my humble opinion. So I'm happy about that. It's unfortunate, but I will say that I got a lot of faith in the position that the Bills have at running back, the players that they have, Ray Davis, Frank Gore Jr., Ty Johnson. Just don't fumble. Hold on to that football, and everything will be good.
All about the security. About the security. Scooter Magoot, man, kick it over to you. What do you think about this list, brother?
Go to the running back. Obviously, that's the big glaring issue. Ty Johnson, I think, can handle the load. I know they brought in Ray Davis. I don't think he's the starting running back. I think Ty Johnson's more of a like player to James Cook, so you might see him actually get more touches. But I do like the powerhouse if we need to hit the ground and pound with both Ray Davis and Frank Gore. So I think we're okay there. And like RT said, the big key factor, Shakir is back. So I think we're going to see Josh a little more relaxed, and I think he has confidence in that backfield.
Ooh, I love it. Guys, I appreciate you two also not. This is the second week in a row that I get to do this. There's a name that's not on this list that we didn't talk about just now, and he's another Johnson. Taron Johnson's not on this list,
Mm.
folks. He's been practicing this week. It looks like we might get our slot corner back tonight, which would be huge in my opinion. Get this defense back where we need to be a little bit. I think Carter did a pretty good job filling in for Eddie O. I'd like to see him get some more meaningful reps and some splashy plays. Let's get old man Aaron Rodgers all blown up and pissed off in the backfield. That's what I want. You guys are killing it in the comments already. Thank you so much. 509 people tuning in. We like to keep this a nice tight half hour so that everybody can get to their rituals at 7:30, maybe a little past 7:30. We'll see. But guys, big game, big game. I hate to say that this early in the season, this is a big game, but this is for the top of the AFC East. This is the opportunity for the Bills to put 2 games between us and the second place team in the division, which would be the New Jersey Jets. If we don't win this one, man, we're looking up. We're knocked down to second, tied for 3-3. We'd still be tiebreaker second in the division here, and that would suck. So, Scoot, I'm going to start with you, my man. Let's start, I guess. The most drama is on the offensive side of the ball, I feel like. So let's start there, man. What does this Bills offense need to do to secure a win and get back on track tonight?
I think there's a lot riding on this offense today. It's not only the Joe Brady offensive coordinator thing. It's a Khalil Shakir thing. It's the running backs in the backfield thing. I think you should come in this week with a clean slate. Joe Brady's being knocked is now becoming predictable. A Dorsey 2.0 already in the 6th week, and we don't want to hear that. So the best way to throw that out the window, like I said, clean slate. We have our safety back as far as Shakir goes, so Josh Allen is able to relax a little more. I want to see him spread the ball a lot more than he had been in the past couple games. You could tell, going into it, everyone's questioning wide receiver 1. Do the Bills need one? And we can clearly justify that Shakir is wide receiver number 1 here in Buffalo, just because of what he provides for Josh Allen. But, I mean, you're right. The biggest thing is the offense. I think clean slate, coordinator coming with a different same game plan, but less predictable plays, and just give what that defense is giving you, because they're playing for nothing right now. With the firing of Coach Saleh, the defensive coordinator is now the head coach. Be prepared for a lot of 4th down play, a lot of trickery, because they are going to be doing I just went to the defense. I apologize. Just be prepared.
Yeah. Come on, man. Stay on track here.
I'm sorry.
Let's go. Stay in the lane.
But it's looking good for the offense. Just come in with your playbook, call your plays according to what you've seen in your film study. It's week 6, so you know tendencies and all that stuff, and just play your game, Buffalo.
I like it. Take what that defense is giving you. I love that take. That's where he should have been these last 2 weeks, the whole way, Khalil or not. RT, what do you got, man? What's this offense going to look like tonight for a big old win?
Oh, I definitely think that it's the path to victory is accessible. It was accessible last week, even though they were struggling. The Texans found so many opportunities to give us that game back, and there were a lot of reasons why we didn't pull it off, some of which did fall on the offense and their inability to connect and the play calling and such. But this is a much tougher defense that we're talking about in New Jersey with the New Jersey Jets than that of the Houston Texans or the Ravens, and Buffalo struggled offensively against both of those teams. We can't, deny it. We can't sugarcoat it. And the Jets defense is very, very good. But I will say a lot of these guys that are very good on the Jets defense probably have to be wondering, what the heck are we doing? I mean, I don't know about you guys, but I was blown away to hear that Robert Saleh was fired. I didn't think that it was going to happen at this time, at this early in the season, at least. And a lot of the games that I've watched, we've been able to watch a lot of Jets football due to the Bills being on prime time and, them being in our local market. The Jets defense is not the problem as to why the Jets have been bad. The offense has been very bad, which I think Buffalo's offense can be even half as good as it was the first 3 weeks of the season, and the Bills defense can show up. This should be a game that the Bills should come away with. Josh Allen's got to do a lot of really good stuff tonight, as he does every week, but there's no doubt he's playing hurt. He's got a hand injury that he's been, suffering through and working through. So take a little bit of pressure off of him. It's going to be tough to do that without James Cook, but I have a plan, and my plan will be in the X Factor discussion. So stay tuned, everybody. A little preview for more.
I like it. Getting a lot of love in the comments. Appreciate you guys contributing. We're almost up to 650 right now. Let's try and bump it up to 1,000, man, right before kickoff. Let's do it. Scooter, man, everybody in the comments is giving you a ton of happy anniversary love, man. So happy anniversary to you and your wife, Elle.
Oh, yeah. Yep. Celebrated 9 years. Went out, had a nice dinner at Ports Cafe, and then rocked out to the Endless Mountain Derelicts there at the Doug Kent Rose Bowl Bowling Alley. It was good time. Good time. Thanks, guys. Thanks, everyone.
It's awesome.
Yeah. It was a good time, man. For me, yeah, Josh needs to get these eyes like right about here, maybe not here. It's like when my dog wants something and I know he's about to go crazy. I like to see calm Josh Allen eyes. Yes, take what they're giving you, man. I want to see these tight ends involved early and often. I want to see everybody. Where's everybody eats, man? The joke on Twitter has been everybody's starving. Our boys over at Circle Wagons, they're talking about that, and it's true. Like we need to just calm down. I said it the other week. Tom Brady made a whole career out of not being flashy, just taking what was given him. It's a proven practice. Do it. Out of all those guys, somebody's going to be open. And if not, you're Josh Allen. Chunk out a couple yards on the ground, live to fight another down. Let's go. And the thing is, if you stick to that script, something will open up downfield. One of these guys are going to emerge as that deep threat. Keon Coleman can do it. He's still finding his bearing. MVS, we're waiting for him to get a big one. I think it's got as much to do with, like last week, Josh trying to prove something that maybe didn't need to be proven, as opposed to like the script or the offensive coordinator. I would spread the blame very evenly across that. And hopefully they come out this week just going nuts. I also, to piggyback on the Salah thing, yeah, man, the Jets are the Jets. That was the stupidest thing. Look at the quarterback play that guy's had since he took over that job. And then look where the defense has been since he took over that job. Like it's insane. Yeah. So what you do is instead of getting rid of Hackett, you demote him after you fire Salah, and then you put his coordinator, which that coordinator's implementing Salah's system. So you're getting a lesser Salah to trickle down effect the whole. What the hell is going on?
Yeah, you bump up a D coordinator, so not much is changing. They're all under the same philosophy and scheme.
The only thing that's changing is you got a guy at the top that is not as well informed about what Salah wanted. That's the same scheme. And then you take. Yeah, go ahead, RT.
Oh, I'm sorry. Yeah, the only thing that stays the same is they got the same 40-year-old quarterback that's calling the shots. There's no way that this makes sense.
Aaron Rodgers had nothing to do with this. He had nothing to do with this. I swear to God. That's what they keep saying. It's like, oh no, it just needed to happen. What, dude? There's one thing that's different. He didn't play last year. And this year he was a problem all the way up until regular season. And then there's been friction all the time. Oh God. Well, it's 7:14, everybody. Let's talk about the defensive side of the ball. And RT, I'm going to slide it right down to you. What does this defense have to do tonight to put a stomping on the Jets?
Honestly, kind of piggybacking off of my Rodgers point, this is an old quarterback. This is a guy that he's not the fresh 40-year-old that Tom Brady was. Tom Brady never got touched. Hardly ever got touched. Aaron Rodgers has been hit. He's been hurt. He's suffered a terrible injury last season. And as I said, I've watched a lot of Jets football this year just due to the fact that the Bills have played, primetime stage a few times this year. And Aaron Rodgers is still a quarterback that can move in the pocket and slide to throw while working up the pocket, but he cannot move backwards to avoid a rush whatsoever. And that's when he really gets into trouble because of the injuries that he's had, the leg injuries that he's had. The Achilles injury has slowed him down tremendously. So I think obviously pressuring Aaron Rodgers is point number one. And point number two, the best player on the Jets offense is not Aaron Rodgers, it's Breece Hall. So run defense, which has been a little bit of a touch and go with Buffalo's defense this year, that has to be priority one, I think, just as much as Aaron Rodgers, maybe even more, to be honest. Stopping the run and forcing Aaron Rodgers to beat you with a secondary in Buffalo that I think is the most underrated secondary in the league.
100%. I love it. Well said. Great points, man. What do you think, Scooter?
I think if the Jets come in knowing that Breece Hall's their number one player, finally wise up and utilize him, I'm not that scared that the Ed Oliver injury is keeping him from playing this week. I think Dwayne Carter last week showed that he's really good to run against the run. Borderline maybe even better than Ed Oliver. Ed Oliver's got the edge and pass rush. So if they're going to be determined to run the ball, I think we're better off as far as our roster goes now. Keeping in mind that we have one of the best tackling nickels back returning with us in Taron Johnson. Taylor Rapp is back. So our full defense is returned except for Ed Oliver. So focus on that run because they're going to utilize it because I believe it is wet there. And yeah, that old quarterback, that 40-plus-year-old quarterback that can't scramble. He was hurt last week, rolling on the ground like he just fell out of his wheelchair. Keep him in the pocket, bump him around a couple times, and make life miserable for him. And I think I'm glad to see some of these guys coming back. I don't think Ed Oliver is going to be that much of a difference maker this week. Maybe that's why they didn't push for him to come back. I don't know, but
and we've talked about that, Scott. They like to keep guys out in matchups where, okay, yeah, it sucks that this guy's out, but we're going to be okay without him this week. We're not going to force him to play. And to be honest with you, that goes to the talking point that I had earlier, where it's week 6. So you're not going to, make Ed Oliver push himself through an injury to potentially get hurt worse so that he's not available week 12, 13, 14, and so on. So I like that take a lot. And Taylor Rapp being back, guys, he was sorely missed last week. Sorely missed. I mean, that was a huge loss, bigger than what I had realized, unfortunately. But some guys are just not there yet. There's some rookies that are playing big roles that we got to be a little bit, we got to recognize that a little bit. Patient. I don't want to use that word, but you took the words out of my mouth. A little bit more patient, a little bit more honest, to be honest, with our assessment in that regard.
Yep. I felt so bad for Corey Bishop. I felt so bad when he got burned. And it was just, he didn't know where to be. And that sucked. And it was a difference. I mean, and we all know that this dude's going to be a stud. When he gets his legs underneath him and he comes in, it's just, it takes time to get caught up. You look at some of these guys that, have been the draft retain, guys. He's one I think is going to pay off in the long haul for sure. But it might just take some time. And guys like Rapp, Mike Edwards was supposed to be a gap filler for these safeties and letting him kind of come up behind. And I don't think he's played it down, so it's it'll be interesting. But I hear you, man. It's one of those things where I was like, God, I just wanted him to flash so bad.
But you got to keep in mind, Cole Bishop came into a game, starting his first game against the Nico Collins, the Stephon Diggs, the Tank Dells, and CJ Stroud, an up-and-coming, if not already there, top 5 quarterback in the league. That's a tough matchup. And you're right, so it wasn't talent. It was just misplacement. Those two safeties were within 10 yards of each other with that deep ball. So there was just a misalignment or miscall somewhere. And that's what you got to take advantage of. And the Texans just so happened to do so.
Yep, that's what it is. For me, man, I want to take both of the things, all the takes that you guys said, and just cram it into one can of SpaghettiOs, bro, because I think it's all about pressuring old man Aaron, and I think it's all about God, man. I think if you can cut the legs off Aaron Rodgers' favorite targets, like like you're saying, the Hall, the Lazard, Taron Johnson, I'm not afraid of any slot receiver that you have down there right now. I don't think Taron Johnson would be back if he wasn't 100%. Right. And so that doesn't bother me. Wilson, He's great. I think him and Aaron Rodgers still have a little bit of friction. I don't think they've 100% connected. I know they had a big game last week, but that big game resulted in a loss, right? Didn't it? So I don't know. I think there's ways to get in Aaron Rodgers' face. There's ways to like stomp it down, but don't get it twisted, man. They're not gonna like just lean on the run to prove a point. Right. Aaron Rodgers is a dude that even if the run call is coming into his ear and he doesn't think it's going to work, he's going to throw the ball, and that's where he's made his bread and butter. So I wouldn't – if it's not working, if the Bills are doing a good job, expect them to abandon it and have Aaron Rodgers try to do old Aaron Rodgers things, because I just don't think – I think he's too much of an egomaniac not to. I think he's going to try and put it on his old dusty shoulders. And
that's
especially with new coaches.
It's a really great point, because that is what's happened. You know, if you really look at the frustration that I have fantasy football wise owning Breece Hall, when he is not efficient or when they can't establish the run, they abandon the run game. They throw it to Braylon Allen more than they give it to Breece Hall on a handoff. So that's something to definitely look out for. And don't get me wrong, guys, on paper, this team is really talented offensively and defensively, but I don't think they have the coaching. I don't think they have the leadership. I think the leadership, I've never looked at Aaron Rodgers and thought of him as the same leadership, caliber as Brady or Peyton or even Eli, there's just not, it just doesn't seem to compute with him, that he's the quarterback and that's what he's supposed to do. But it just doesn't seem as if that's what he's interested in doing at this stage in his career. He seems a little bit checked out. So I don't know. It's very strange. I think it'll go down as one of the worst trades of the recent, last 5 to 10 years. The jury's still out, but does not appear that this has worked for the New York Jets at all. So we'll see. Hopefully it doesn't work tonight.
Let's all hope it doesn't work tonight. Guys, 7:23. I wanted to address some things that are going on in the comments right now. Guys, there's this tradition that a bunch of knuckleheads in this whole beautiful group started, and it was eating SpaghettiOs before the game. They are 3-2 with this method. You can't be mad at it. One such guy is one of my dudes, your favorite and mine. We got Corey coming up, and he's got a new SpaghettiO video, so we got to do it. So all of your questions have been answered in the comments. Here we go.
Oh, man, it's game day, guys. Oh, we got to get the food going. Oh, my God, look at this, dude. We got so much stuff to do. We still got few hours till game time, but man, oh my God, dude, there's so much food to get ready. I don't even know if I have time to do it all. Ella, can you help me? There's so much food to get ready.
Calm down, Dad. We're gonna win.
You sure?
Yeah.
Yeah, is Daddy doing too much? Yeah, I think, you know what? Just like the Bills the last couple weeks, I think Daddy's trying a little too hard and doing way too much, huh? So we're just going to get back to basics, guys. I think as long as we remember who we are and stop trying to impress Stephon Diggs last week and stop trying to go for big plays every time when the run game's working and not run the ball inside the end zone. I could go on and on about everything that's going on. But just get back to basics. Remember who we have. Remember who we are. And just like the first 3 games, take what's given to us. Take the little yards. Take the chunks. Come on, guys. You ready? Cheers. Go Bills.
I can't even get any.
Okay. Go Bills.
Go Bills.
Bills.
Well, there you go. I think we were having some technical issues here.
Technical difficulties.
But as always, I don't let Corey eat by himself, so I got my SpaghettiOs right here.
Nice.
Oh, there you go.
Nice.
Cheers, Corey.
You got the
On the
NFL
14.
logo on those, don't you?
Oh, hell yeah. And the meatballs are all at the top.
They're all at the top.
Yo, everything on my side froze, so I think we're all good. You guys can hear
Well,
me.
there you go.
Yeah. I
Yeah,
think
okay.
you were good the entire time, Swank. I think
Okay.
just Corey's video was froze.
Yeah. Well, I had to like redo some stuff. I'm sorry, guys.
Yeah.
Corey, can you post that shit so that I don't know what's going on. There was some technical stuff going on here, so at least you all got to see Scott eat a spoonful of cold SpaghettiOs, and that's all that really matters. Guys, let's go here
They
with
get better every bite.
yeah, right. Let's do an X Factor and a score prediction. We'll go around here, and please, in the comments, all 944 of you, join us. Let us know your score prediction in X Factor. Scooter Magoo, I feel like it's your turn, man. What do you got for X Factor score prediction for today?
It's for the X Factor. It's come in. I mentioned a clean slate on offensively for the Buffalo Bills. It's got to be all around. We got to mind our P's and Q's today. Again, the firing of Coach Salah, a new offensive coordinator. There's a lot of changes in their front office, but schematically and all that stuff, I don't think there's a lot. The only thing I think we'll see different is more of a desperation move on the Jets' part. You'll see the fourth downs. You'll see the trick plays, the fake punts, all that stuff. They're in a bad spot right now, and they're looking for a spark. And they're going to try to do it against their AFC East division rival Buffalo Bills. Mind your P's and Q's. Hold your gap responsibilities. Don't get beat deep, and just play Buffalo Bills football and embarrass them, because something like this, they kind of ask for an embarrassment. You fire the wrong coach. You're doing everything wrong. You need to be humiliated on the field when everybody's watching. So that's my X Factor.
Yeah.
Coaches, have these guys prepared to dominate this Monday Night Football game for sure.
Ooh, I like it. I like it very much. Mr. RT, what do you got, brother?
Well, Swank, you touched on this earlier in the show. I touched on it. I gave you guys like a little bit of a preview to the preview of the take. And I want the Buffalo Bills offense to simply make things simple. That's really it. Just make it simple. I want a methodical, easy offense that takes the pressure off of Josh Allen, where guys can get open and he can see them get open. And separation was talked about all last week. I watched the game twice, unfortunately, as painful as it was. Went back, I saw guys that weren't getting separation, mainly due to the plays that were called. I want more slants. Yeah. I want more drags. I want more curl routes. We don't need to see these guys run 40 yards down the field on every single passing down. So with that being said, the game has changed. The tight end position matters. Let's go back to tight end university with Dalton Kincaid and Dawson Knox. For crying out loud, Dawson Knox has 3 catches this season. That is ridiculous. He deserves way more of a target share than that. And Dalton Kincaid is a certified stud. We know it. Everybody knows it. Let's get them the ball. Let's keep things simple for Josh Allen. I'm going 5 catches for Knox and 8 catches for Dalton Kincaid. Total of 13 total catches. You know what? Let's go 14. Let's go 7 each just to make it easy. Let's say they both get 7.
You don't want to give Quentin Morris one? You don't want to give Quentin Morris a catch?
I'll give Clinton Morris a tutty.
Oh,
maybe a little bit of a H-back, tight end, fullback touchdown. Let's hit the Jets where it hurts, right in the mouth.
RT says, I see your catch and raise you a tutty.
Yep.
Nice.
Yep.
I like it. Did you give us a score?
Oh, score? I did not. So score, I think it is going to be close. I do think it's going to be close, but I think Buffalo will win this game 28-17. The story of this game is not going to be the Buffalo Bills offense getting it right. It's going to be the Buffalo Bills defense proving that they are the backbone of this team. The secondary, Dorian Williams is playing all out. He's actually making people wonder whether they bring back Matt Milano. He's played that well. And that's another talking point for another day, but I definitely think that Dorian Williams deserves his props. So Bills D shuts it down. Aaron Rodgers one step closer to retirement after this one.
I mean, after last week's yesterday's games, Dorian Williams was the number 1 tackler in the NFL. So I'll take that and do it. And I didn't give my score 24-17, Swank.
Oh, we got to follow directions, guys. Come on. Let's go here. What was it? You said 24-17?
Yep.
Okay, nice.
Yep.
We're at 990 right now, right at the 730 mark. And guys, my X factor right here. It's going to be that running back by committee crew. I think you're going to see my boy Ty Johnson, who I just put in for James Cook on fantasy. I think you're going to see him do kind of what he did the last time they played the Jets, right? Sparked off, caught that touchdown down the right sideline. Let's see. I think
like
you know, a little bit of a revenge game. You know, he came from New York, all that good stuff. Let's put it into effect. I know your brother Jerry. He's been in the comments. He's ringing the bell for Frank Gore Jr. Jerry, you are the guy that loves the long shot running backs, and this is a night that I hope you are absolutely correct. And he comes out and makes a big old statement. Yeah, man, I think this running back crew, if they can soften it up, because I think what the Jets D is going to try and do is they're going to take it all. They're going to try to take all that away. They're going to try to put pressure on Josh and make him look like he looked the last 2 weeks. And Josh Allen went from being the most feared quarterback when you pressured him to now the least feared quarterback when you pressure him. So they need to get these short outs and that stuff across the middle of the field. So yes, running backs to set up the tight ends, to set up the cross the field wide receivers and all that stuff. And my score prediction, I think that the Jets are getting too much credit. I think actually what they did was took a foundation that was secure with the defense and they kind of jarred it up. So I wonder how tight the defense is going to look, especially when that Bills plan wasn't in effect before Salah left. So now you got a new D coordinator in that spot trying to put all the pieces back together. Let's see how sharp they look tonight. I kind of think instead of doing what, all the rah, let's get behind the interim head coach, I don't think anybody on that team really felt that way, except for Aaron Rodgers. I think that defense was behind Salah. So
100%.
Who knows what they look like tonight. I just don't think it was a good thing. So for me, man, I see the Bills, the get right. It's a get right game. It's not a trap game. It's the Bills coming out and being who they are, who we know they are. 27-14. Bills.
Like it.
We're all pretty close. Close. 28-17 for me. Yours was 24-17, Scott, and Swank. Yours was 27-14.
Did I say 27?
Yeah, 27-14.
Sure.
We'll
do
yeah.
27. Yeah.
I'm gonna play the numbers tonight. I'm playing some numbers. I'm gonna jot this down.
I'm looking for scoregami. All right, guys. It's 7:33. There's 1,016 of you crazy sons of sons in this here stream, and we really appreciate it. We're going to do a little final thought, ring around the rosy, and then let you get to your pregame rituals. Thank you so much for joining us on Sunday sessions, and you can catch us every single pregame an hour and a half before kickoff right here on the Buff Fan Base Network. RT, why don't you give them your final thought, tell them where to find you, and Godspeed.
Yeah, thanks, buddy. So, of course, final thoughts. Listen, I've been really frustrated these last 2 weeks. I feel like the Baltimore game wasn't even a game. I mean, it was a blowout, but there was still a moment in time coming off of that first half where Buffalo could have made things close, and the floor just fell out under their feet. And it felt like the rug got pulled under them a little bit too, with some very weird calls. Very weird play calls. It's just been a weird 2 weeks. Last week goes without saying. I was really critical of Sean McDermott, as was everybody, and rightfully so. I just want Sean McDermott to just let the players play a little bit. Let this game be a game that they just play wild and free to an extent, especially against a divisional opponent that the Bills should have no – I mean, you go into each game respecting an opponent, but the Bills almost have to come into this game with just a massive chip on their shoulder. Everybody's talking smack that the Bills are done, that they're going to fall victim to this change in their wide receiver room. Let's silence the doubters once more, and let's just make this another dominant victory against an AFC East opponent, proving that this is our division to win, and we're going to win it again for the 5th straight year with Josh Allen and Sean McDermott leading the way.
Ooh, I love it. Nice kid.
Oh, yeah.
All right, Scooter, what do you got?
Yeah, piggybacking off that, the easiest way to get to the playoffs is winning your division, and the Bills right now are a game up. We need to control that. We need to control our own destiny. We've got a lot of tough games this season. That's what happens when you're number one in your division every year for the last 6 years. You got to play the tough games, and we are playing the tough games. We are going to win some. We're going to lose some. Hopefully, by the end of the season, you win more than you lost. But as long as you take care of that AFC East, and as long as you're up top there, it's a whole new season when it comes to the playoffs. Brand new, whole new seasons. We know teams backed in that made the Super Bowl and won them, so it can happen. Let's one game at a time. This is a Monday night primetime game against the AFC hated Jets. Let's take care of business, and you got to cheer for one game at a time. Be in it for 4 quarters. Let's take a break and talk about it tomorrow on the K-Gun Report at 8 o'clock, and let's move on. But let's get this game done first.
Yeah, finish this game and then move on. That's what you said, right? Okay.
Yeah.
Let's not
Finish
move on
them,
right now.
Finish them, and then on to Tennessee. And you know, this is a big one, guys. If they don't win this game and they limp their way back home to play Tennessee, I'll be feeling like, what are we watching here? Like, what happened? You know, you go from 3-0 to 3-3. It can't happen. We got to get a win tonight by any means necessary. If it means punching Aaron Rodgers in the throat or the ear, you got to do it. So it is. Just don't put a bounty on anybody. We know that does not work out. You know.
Yeah. Guys, for me, man, this is not panic time. This is a good football team that has been competitive for the last 6 seasons, and been your AFC East champions for a good portion of that. So for me, I'd like everybody just to take a step back, look at how early it is in the season, look at a team that gets so much media time and so much praise, but plays like shit until it hits November, December, and that's the Kansas City Chiefs. These teams can go through their growing pains for the season early on and then hit a stride. The Bills have done it after the Hail Murray. They went on a terror. Last year, they went on a terror when everybody thought, wow, they're not going to even make it into the playoffs. And they became the 2nd seed and the top of the AFC East yet again. Don't get so wrapped up in what's happening last week and the week before that you don't see the forest through the trees. You got a hell of a competitor in Josh Allen, and there's no way he's rolling over. And if you don't think that he's been in there watching film and getting in everybody's ear and chewing ass along with everybody else on that offensive and defensive side, you're crazy. So this is to making up for opening week of last year. This is for turning things around, and this is for solidifying the fact that Josh Allen is the best quarterback in the NFL. Guys, thank you so much for hanging with us. We sure love the hell out of you. Don't forget to follow Ryan Thomas Takes Sports Podcast. Check
Wednesdays
him out.
at 8. I did not mention that. Wednesday at 8, I'm going to bring what the kids say is a banger. So if the Buffalo Bills win or lose, you know that I'm going to bring it. So enjoy.
Yeah. Full drip, bringing a banger. RT, Wednesdays at 8. You can catch Scott and myself and Scott's twin brother, Jared, on Tuesdays at 8 p.m. for the K-Gun Report. That's tomorrow. So hopefully we got a non-therapeutic show. It's more of a, hell yeah, we're back, baby show. You know, that's what I'm going for. So, guys, 739.
Brad Lamb's going to join us.
Yes, Brad Lamb, ex-wide receiver for the Buffalo Bills, Mr. Brad Lamb, friend of the show. Guys, 740. Get your beers, get your foods, find your comfy chair, and go Bills.
Go Bills.
Go
college, but college done up me.